You are listening to an exclusive on PodHub Network. Your city, your podcast.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Back to the Burgh, presented by the PodHub Network. My guest today hails from Aliquippa, PA, and has started an extremely successful Instagram page called KeepPittsburghDope, where he documents the daily lives and culture of the people in Pittsburgh. Please welcome Chance Humphrey. Chance, what's up, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. So, first, I forget when exactly you started KeepPittsburghDope.
Yeah.
But I think I may have been one of the first 1,000 followers. And
shit.
Seeing how it grew, it was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man. I don't think I've ever had I was one of the first 1,000. So I'm a day. But no, 2014 is when I officially started it, and it's just that means a lot because now we're at where we are now, and it's just like motherfuckers. And I can swear, right?
Oh yeah,
I don't want to. Okay. Yeah, motherfuckers they stay with me, and they just see the progress I made. Just getting better with the camera and everything else. So
yeah, exactly. I remember. It was going into, or it may have been coming out of my senior year of high school, which was 2015.
Oh wow! Okay.
On your account, and all through college, I wasn't that far away from Pittsburgh. I was down in Bethany, West Virginia. But anytime I was tired of looking at the hills and the woods and everything, I would go to your page and be like, "All right, this is what's going on in the streets of Pittsburgh right now."
Hey,
that was always a nice escape.
Damn, that's an awesome story, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, I get a lot of people they're not in the city anymore, and they just want to get the vibe, catch the vibe, and they some go to my page, man. That's lit.
Exactly, man. So we're going to talk about that a little more later, but I want us to talk about you and your upbringing and just how you got to where you are now. So you're talking before the podcast that you're from Aliquippa, born and raised. You're very proud of that.
For sure.
But there is a but. You went to Hopewell High School.
went to Hopewell, man. We're laughing, but if so yeah, I grew up in Aliquippa, Plan 11, the Hill.
Yep.
I'm from I don't know if you've ever heard of Mount Vernon.
Yes.
The apartments. Tony Dorsett grew up there.
Yep.
I think that's really it as far as famous people in Mount Vernon. But but it was the same thing with Tony Dorsett. So in Mount Vernon, there was an invisible line for, I guess, school districts.
Yeah.
And even Hopewell's in Aliquippa, it's just Hopewell's a township. But so I was on the one side that all the kids had to go to Hopewell, and if you're on the other side, you went to Aliquippa. So yeah, you got so much shit for that. Growing up.
Yeah, that reminds me of recently you have the Into the Spider-Verse where Miles goes to the other school, but he still passes through his old school.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of how you grew up, was I hang out with everybody that goes to Aliquippa, but I go to Hopewell.
Exactly. And and especially with the sport, it's you see all your friends on the other side, and and Aliquippa was always better than us. So
same here. They always beat our ass in Beaver. So
they just stay, and even still to this day, they just dominate.
I mean, hey, you can't even say it. There's something in the water because you're right there. So
I did
water, right?
I'm drinking the same water, and I am not in the league nowhere. So,
let's go. Let's transition into sports. Did you play any sports growing up in high school and everything?
Yeah, so I played what did I play? So I played Mighty Mites football and midget football, and I was pretty good. I was pretty good at wide receiver and midgets. But then once we got to high school, I just I didn't want to get hit. I didn't want to be out there in the weather. Just being real, ninth grade came, and I was just I don't want to do that anymore. I want to play basketball, and I think I was better at football. I don't know. I just wanted to I wanted to be dry and just play basketball. I don't know. So yeah, but I was okay.
Yeah.
I was all right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was okay.
that's how all of us are, you know, all of us
Yeah.
people who want to talk about sports, we were just okay.
Yeah, like
That's why we're not doing it.
because it was so many like when I was there, yo, we we had there was Herb Pope,
Mhm.
Antonio Reddick. Like it was so many good players. I was just like, I was
Wow, I
okay.
haven't heard that name in a long time, Antonio Reddick.
Yeah, yo, people, man, like Beaver County legends, man. He could jump out the gym. He just a good like, and I don't know him. I mean, I know him personally, but we ain't. But he was just a nice dude, quiet dude. But he was a monster on the basketball court.
Yeah.
I
So
think football too.
yeah, let's go through like how old or not how old are you? When did you graduate high school?
'07 class of
Oh
'07.
seven. So like who were the athletes around at that time? Because I mean, you have
Yeah,
so many that came out of that area.
man.
Was
So
John Baldwin around then?
yeah, so he was a grade younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And we actually grew up together. My grandma, we used to like our grandmas lived on the same street. And
Okay.
I remember like we used to play outside, and then Jonathan Baldwin, man, he went through a growth spurt, I think like eighth grade,
Out of
and
nowhere.
out of nowhere, and then he was just, he was the man. But yeah, around that time it was Jonathan Baldwin, Herb Pope. Uh, I'm trying to think. Out of Blackhawk. I know this cat. I can't think of his name. Antoine Childs.
Oh yeah.
Remember him?
Childs.
Yeah, he could jump out the gym. Yeah, it was good players, and like even before, yeah, around that, I know I'm missing some, but like Slade Eunice. I don't know if you remember Slade Eunice. He went to Ambridge.
I feel like I heard that name. Yeah.
He was a good point guard. I don't know. It was a couple. It was a lot of good players in the Whitfield, man, especially in Beaver County.
Yeah, absolutely. I could talk about Whitfield legends forever, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man, to have great professional careers too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, after high school, what were you doing? Did you go to college? Or
Yeah.
did you just get into your craft?
No. So funny enough. So like I was like I don't give myself enough credit. I was okay in basketball. Like it was, but I went to I got scouted. I got recruited by two schools, Geneva and Penn State Beaver.
Nice.
And I went to Penn State Beaver because they were like, they just gave me more. Like I just knew, like they gave me like just more, what do you call it, like grants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was great. I had an opportunity to play, and like I went there for 2 years at Penn State Beaver, just playing basketball. I really didn't know what I wanted to do until my sophomore year, and I fell into radio. To broadcast. I went into broadcast, and then once my sophomore year was over, and if you major in broadcast, you have to go to the main campus, like up at State College.
State College, yeah.
Yeah, so I went up there, and that's one thing in my life like I regret is not trying out for the team up there just to see.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Yeah, just to see how how your game is against these D1 athletes. So I didn't try out. I just wanted to like smoke weed and drink like any other college kid, and I just I didn't want to work out anymore. Like I just wanted to just go to school.
Dude, same. I went to Bethany College to play football, and after 1 year, not even 1 year, it was after like camp. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, it ain't fun. Like I got people yelling at me to lift heavier weights. Like maybe I just can't. Maybe I don't want to.
Right.
So maybe I just want to go sit on a deck and drink beer for the next 4 years.
That's what I wanted to do.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the vibe.
But looking back, I just wish I would have just tried just to see, like, just to see if I could make it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the same thought sometimes, what if I stuck it out, whatever, but hey,
right.
There's always that what if, right?
Right. I mean, I definitely wasn't going to the league. I can barely jump and touch the ceiling. So,
So
I
now
wasn't going.
getting into your major, you said you transitioned to broadcast your sophomore year.
Yeah.
And I want to focus on radio. I've told this story so many times. The listeners probably are tired of hearing it, but I'd like to share it.
Okay.
I think it was my freshman year, second semester, or maybe sophomore year, first semester. I had to take radio, and I
Mhm.
was always the type that like I just want to be behind the scenes, do the editing, do the production. Like that's it. I don't want anybody to hear my voice. Then I took radio. They forced me to do a radio show, and that's what really brought me out of my shell. Did you
Mm.
have a similar experience?
No, I'm not. So I don't know. I've always been out of my shell. Like I don't know. I've always been like, just personable, kind of like just. I
Yeah.
can just talk to people. Side note, I got voted best personality in high school. I never get to bring
There
that
you
up
go.
anywhere. So, yeah, I got that in high school, but like, not necessarily a moment, but I look back, now. I look back on just some of the things that got me started in radio. So like when I was at Penn State Beaver, we had like the internet radio. So we were,
Yeah.
right. And I started on there with my two friends, and we would just bullshit on Wednesday nights and just have different topics.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of where it started, and then it transitioned to Penn State. And I guess I can say the moment I kind of I started really taking it seriously is when I got to the main campus, B94. They were it's the radio station up there.
Yeah.
It used to be here too in Pittsburgh, but they had an internship, and I applied and I got that. And then once
Nice.
I got that internship, I was like, all right, someone thinks I can do this. So then it was just like,
Yeah, that's where it
kind
took
of
off.
like, yeah, yep.
So whenever you went to Maine, I guess, was it strictly just radio, or did you get into like video production as well?
Yeah, so like, when I tell you Penn State was it was so much fun. Like, I mean, obviously fun, like extracurricular, but
Yeah, I've experienced it once in my life, and I wish I would have went to Penn State.
man, yeah, it's it's so many stories, man. But it's literally insane that you had like that shouldn't even be legal to have all these kids just horny and just don't know, just in this one space. It's dangerous, man.
So wait, first, since we're on the topic, what's your
Yeah.
favorite bar in Penn State College?
Man, so I don't even think it's there anymore. It was a spot called Cell Block. I think it changed into I don't know. It was the Cell Block, and then there was the Lions Den as well.
I've heard of the Lions Den.
Yeah, I used to like the Lions Den a lot, but Cell Block was like ratchet. It changed into something else, but I don't know the name of it. But it was Cell Block was my favorite back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, no. In my experience, I went to Champs. I thought Champs was the coolest thing in the world. I was like, this place is awesome,
Uh-huh.
And then there was the place across the street where it was like a beer distributor and like a serve your own like type of deal, and that place was pretty awesome too.
I don't.
It might be new. It seems new because you can pour your own beer.
It probably is. Yeah, like when I was there, like was it 09 and 10? Like Four Loko still had
basically cocaine in it.
Yeah, it was it was the original. And like when I tell you I mean, I'm sure dudes were too, but like I would see girls drink like one can of that and they couldn't go out. Like they wouldn't be able to like
hold on a second.
Continue the night.
I don't know if you can see that.
Huh. Oh shit.
This is what my girlfriend drinks all the time when she drinks.
What?
She drinks at least one of these every time she drinks. She's gonna hear me and rush in here and yell at me.
Oh,
But,
she must be in her 20s. She must be in her 20s.
oh yeah, we're in our 20s. I just
Okay.
turned 24. She's 23. So
Yeah, y'all can still handle it. Y'all can
yeah,
still
we can handle it. But yeah, you brought up Four Locos, and I had to say something because it's been on her desk, and like she'll have it on her desk when she's doing online school for her master's. And I was like, is that motivation for you? Is that what that is?
That's it, probably is.
Exactly. So I just had to share that because we mentioned Four Locos.
Yo, like when I tell you, so like we were broke as hell, and like we would like during the week, you know, we would go to class and we would give plasma like every Friday.
Oh, you would give plasma. I was like, what? What about plasma?
Yeah, and they would give you 50, I think $50, or I forget how much money.
Yeah, you used to be able to get money when you gave blood. Now it's just like you volunteer.
Oh, they don't give you money anymore.
No, that's why I never did it whenever I went to college. They don't give you money anymore.
So wow. Well, back in, they used to give us, so we would like, me and my homie, 50 each, we would have $100. Yo, we would get Four Locos. That was set up, we would have that for Friday and Saturday, because you need 2 of those and you'll be straight.
Yeah, you're straight. That's all you need.
Yeah, it was great times, man.
Oh man. Yeah, I know. I had to ask about the atmosphere. So I interviewed Derek Moy, who was
he was up there too. Yeah.
He was a legend. He was a Penn State legend. And I asked him about the bars. He's like, yeah, I didn't really go out much. And I'm like, well, it makes sense. You're a professional athlete. So
right.
So I figured I'd get a better answer out of you.
and you know what? I know Doug, he's a good dude, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's lying. Those
He's lying.
They were out here. They were outside. That's all I'm gonna say. They was out. They was out here.
I love that. I love that.
I never forget. I was like, we were outside the hub, and this was like when I was like I said, I stopped playing sports, and I just like, I was smoking cigarettes and I was drinking, and like, I remember he looked at me one time. He was like, you smoking cigarettes, man? I was like, yeah, I felt so bad too, because he was just like this, you know.
Yeah,
like,
you see like this peak athlete that you kind of grew up with in the same like area, and he's like, I'm so disappointed in you, and you're like, I'm sorry. I got
no shot at the league, man. I got no shots.
Bro, you're hilarious, dude. I love this. This is one of my favorite interviews so far. You're giving me so many stories, and I love it.
Oh, that's love. Yeah. That's like I said. This is a dope platform for.
Oh, absolutely.
For people, I mean, I know you talk to more people out of more than Beaver County, but like, yeah, like it's a unique place.
Yeah, to like break the fourth wall, I guess. I feel like restricted to Beaver County, because that's where I'm from. It's where I know most of the people, you know. I've tried to reach out to other people, but obviously they don't know who I am. They don't, you know. But it's what it is. And that's all you can do is grow and expand.
Yeah, seriously. And like, I saw you had Justin Thomas on here.
Yeah, JT. We became good friends my senior year of college, because that's when he got the job at Bethany.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I grew up with him. We went to church together.
Oh, awesome.
He went to Ambridge.
Yep.
And then I think he went to Slippery Rock for baseball. Or
he played with Matt Adams over there.
Okay.
Who ended up going to the MLB.
Got you. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good dude. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's transition. We got all the good stories out of college. I love that. But let's transition to post-grad life. Where'd you transition to? Did you end up taking a job at the Penn State radio station?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. So like I didn't graduate. I didn't even graduate from Penn State. So I'll tell you. So when I was up there, so let me get going into Penn State, Maine. I had a like I said, I had a little digital radio show that we did through, you know, Penn State. It was called The Blackout. It was me and my 2 friends. So when I got up to Penn State, I got the internship spot. I was doing radio, but I was leveraging. So I had the internet radio show, and I was interning at B94. But when you go to a big school, like you get like a lot of big acts, like you get like a lot of like big performers who come
Yeah.
like to perform. So like I would leverage my internet radio show, my spot at B94, and I would email like these managers or like Big Sean, Big Sean, like Wiz Khalifa's, like Method Man and Red. Like I would leverage it, and I would do that, and I would interview these cats on video and upload them to YouTube, and they're still on YouTube, man. They're so ass, but yeah, they're so bad. But that's kind of where my brand like kind of started, and then I had to leave school going into my senior year, my last semester, just money issues. And then I came home and I started a blog. So I started a blog from what I was doing at Penn State. So like here, I started a blog called Radio Chumps. And we would feature like different artists in Pittsburgh, different restaurants, different events, and stuff like that. And I did that like literally 2012, I started that. And that was right after school. So I got a loan. I got like a day job, like a loan.
Yeah.
It was trash. In the cubicle. But while I was doing that, I was focusing on.
That was enough to sustain while you're trying to build your brand.
Exactly. And it was a rough time, man, because like all my friends, like they had their, like they were like getting their jobs and like, you know, what they went to school for. And I was just like, fuck, I'm starting this blog. Like, I got a job. I don't know. It was just a real like humbling time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that. I feel that grind because like I don't know if it was at the beginning of the podcast or before the podcast. I kind of went through the same transition, I guess. I mean, I got the big job, but obviously there's a creative avenue you want to fulfill within yourself. Right. And I just wasn't doing it. And it's like, you know, I was just like living day by day, like whatever, like this is cool. And then finally I found my avenue. I wrote for Jagoff Sports. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I wrote blogs for them. Then I started doing the podcast for them, and I later moved on. But yeah, it's just like I feel like anybody, especially now in like this new generation, you're gonna even like you'll have your like career, but you're also trying to build a brand.
Right. And looking back on it, like I feel like I got like a real head start. You know, starting in 2012 and 13. And
yeah, absolutely. Like I'm super jealous that you got to start then, and I didn't realize this until like 2019, 2020. You know, you have such a head start. It's crazy.
And looking back on it, I never felt like I got a head. It always felt like
I feel like that's how it is though. You never feel like you're ahead, even if you are.
Yeah, it's like you're always behind in your mind. And it's just like I don't know, like you just always feel like motherfuckers already caught on to Instagram. They already know what to. I don't know, but like then you realize like that's not the case years down the line, and then people are coming to you with questions that you had, you know, back then. You know, but you're able to help them. You know, you're able to provide any insight. You know, but I'm glad I started, you know, back then and seeing kind of what was going on and just hopping on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So then, when did you start to feel like a breakthrough with your brand?
Oh man, so yeah, that's a great question. So like I said, I was doing Radio Chumps.
Yeah.
And for Radio Chumps, like I said, my friends, they were kind of like graduating. I had two friends couple friends who did photography and like friends who were interested in writing, and that's whose content was on the site. Yeah. So like I was setting up the shoot dates and like reaching out to the restaurants to be featured, and then the writers and my photog friends, they were doing it. They were doing but so with that, they weren't getting paid. You know, they were just doing it for, you know, just to, you know, the love and just to keep, you know, writing and stuff. But my photographers would bail on me. Like they would like, Like, yo, we're going to the Power game today. We can't do
The Power game. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry to lost your photographers, but I love the Pittsburgh Power.
Classic team. Yeah, or like we're going to wherever, like we're going to Kennywood, and they just found something better to do. You know? So I would be pissed. I would be like, I would just be asked out. So I'd be like, man. So I just got my own camera, and I was like, if it happens again, I can just wing it or whatever. And that's how I got into photography. But the breakthrough came is when so one of my best friends, he lives in Brooklyn. He's from Jersey, but he lives in Brooklyn. So during this time period, like 2012, 2013, 14, like I'm going to every fashion week. So like fall fashion week, I'm going. And I'm in New York, and I'm just starting. I got my little camera. I'm just like, I have appreciation for fashion. I love style and stuff like that. But like, I wasn't, I didn't know anything about anything. So, but my friend did. My best friend did. He loves GQ. He always has. He just into all of that. So I would go, and I would fucking see these street photographers, like, capturing the models leaving shows and like capturing designers leaving shows. But like the crazy shit was like people knew who these photographers were. Like they were like, I don't want to say celebrities, but like, I don't know, like people knew like who they were. And that was just so mind blowing to me. Like, how are these motherfuckers, like, how do they brand themselves to be like, how do they separate themselves from all these other photographers? I don't know. It was just so wild to me. And like, that's kind of how I fell in love with street photography. And and then seeing the lane wide open here, like kind of like no one was on the streets in 2014, really capturing the people of Pittsburgh. And I don't know. Now I was like, fuck, like I can take this back to Pittsburgh and just do it my way. And like, so like that was the breakthrough, going to New York and just seeing like, those street photographers, man. Like, New York was the breakthrough.
That's awesome. Wow. That's really cool. Because like, you're right. Like, why do these photographers have a brand? Why do they have a name?
Right.
Like, what are they doing to separate themselves? Because you could think like some Joe Schmo on the street would be like, oh, they're all getting the same picture. What's it matter? But I think what matters is like where their photography is going, how it's edited, and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I think that leads me to another question. Is, I mean, obviously, I want to dive deep into your content on Instagram, but like, how much editing goes into these like street photos? Because I mean, you're trying to get the most natural photo like you can, right?
Yeah. You mean as far as
like when you put it in the computer and you want to like touch it up or something,
Oh yeah.
I know some photographers, they have their own like editing style, and you can tell like if it's, if the contrast is this way, oh, that's that person or something,
Oh yeah. Well, mine is, so I do. So like I found like my editing style, and like my thing is I don't take it. I think it varies with each picture, just how long you take. But I certainly have my settings where I know like, yo, But I don't know. My thing, I just like to keep it as real as possible. Like, I don't try to do too much editing. I mean, of course, if a person has a pimple, like,
oh yeah,
like I want to do them justice. Like, I know it's real, and that's really, they have that at the time, but it's just like, fuck, man, like mad people are going to see this photo. So like, I'll take like something like, that out, but I don't know. I just like to leave it as real as possible, and like, this is that person in this time frame, and like, their face was red from the cold. Like, I want to keep it as real as possible, but I still have like high contrast, and I like to keep a little bit blue, the temperature. So like, I have that as far as editing, like the colors, but I just like to keep it as real as I can for people on the street. Yeah.
Awesome. So now, getting into your Instagram account itself, how did you gain your following? How long did it take to get where you are now? You have, last I checked, 30.5 thousand followers, which is that's a lot for Instagram, but also a lot for like kind of a niche thing that you're doing.
For sure, yeah.
So like, how did you get to that point from 0 to 30.5K?
Yeah, that was my thing. So my thing is like going back to sports, and like that's how I love being from. I relate everything in sports terms. So like,
yeah, same.
yeah, like even I'm competitive. So like not in a malicious way, but like I knew like, because even when I started, it was a thing where you can buy followers, you can like do corny shit, and it was just like, yo, like I'm going to like. I was very aware of like, yo, like I'm gonna start this from nothing, and I just want people, like you said, I want people to grow with me. So like, I want people to be like, yo, Chance's like his photos are trash. Like, why is he doing this? Like, why is he even fucking doing this? Da, 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 da. But I wanted to be like, yo, damn, Chance was ass last year, but this photo's looking nice, yo. And then just gradually like people growing with me.
Exactly, like people seeing the raw progression.
Right. And then it was just, and it'd be just undeniable. Like, yo, I was here, and now I'm here. And I just knew with that, I was going to get a genuine following. Like I knew it would. I knew it was going to take time, especially if I wasn't, going to do any bot followers or anything. So it was just like, I don't know. And, I don't know. But 30K was always my bench. Like 30K was, and I guess we'll talk later, but like 30K was always my comfort zone where, all right, now I can do this because motherfuckers will take heed to it. Like they're like, I have a real fan base, and 30K was always that number for me where it was like, all right, you can sell some merch now. All right, you can do whatever, just kind of elevate. So, it's a marathon.
So that's good. It's good that you had like a high benchmark for yourself, because myself, I talk to Anthony DiNardo a lot. He's kind of been my mentor through podcasting, and I always think way too far ahead. Like, not that I was thinking about merch, but I'm just like, I'm always thinking, how can I capitalize? How can I build a following faster? But it's always stuff that you need to do at least 2 or 3 steps beforehand until you do that step. So it's awesome that you were able to keep like the patience.
Yeah, that and that's yo, and I'm so impatient with other things. Like, but with this, like I've always been like just very meticulous and patient. I know I just kind of realistic. Like I even like at 10K, I collaborated with a print shop called Public Print House out here in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And we did a collab, and like it wasn't time. It wasn't time to do it. Like I mean, it was just a thing. Like none of my friends had 10K. Nobody I knew had 10K, and it was just like, all right, let's do it. And some people did buy it, but like it wasn't time yet.
And that's what I think is so weird to think about is like, even at 10K followers, you're not doing what you think you should be. You know what I mean? Like putting out wise.
Right. And it felt like it was always, because I had 30K in my mind, even back then. That was like, I think that was 2016, like 15. And like, I knew I was jumping the gun. And it was just like, that's what fucking happened. It wasn't time. So, but yeah, it's just, but overall, like, Nipsey Hussle. I don't know, like, it's the rapper Nipsey Hussle. His thing
Nipsey Hussle. Okay, I thought you said MC Hussle. I was like, wait.
Oh,
I was like, who's that?
not MC. I don't know this. I don't know who that is. But, even him, he probably lives by this too. But it's a marathon, man. It's legit a marathon, man. And you'll see people come and go.
But absolutely.
It's a marathon.
And that's what I've kind of realized at this point is like, you got to be doing it for the passion. And that's what I've found. Like, luckily I found that. Like I told you before, I had a podcast before this. It was just me and my friends bullshitting about the news and pop culture and sports. And it's like, that was just me wanting to be in front of wanting people to hear my opinion. Right. It's like that wasn't it. I think the passion for me is just telling stories of people who kind of shaped who I am. You know what I mean? Like Western PA has shaped who I am. And I want to tell the stories of the people in Western PA. And I think once somebody finds that passion, you can't stop them from doing anything.
At all. Yeah. I'm a real big advocate in that, almost to a point where it's annoying. Like I just want everybody around me and everybody I don't know just to like find like that passion. Like I just know so many fucking miserable people like on social in my life.
We're too similar. We are way too similar. This is crazy.
Nah, you know what it is though? I tell my other friend from Beaver County. I think it's Beaver County shit, yo. I'm like, I tell him like, yo, and this may sound away, this may sound bad, I don't care though. But like motherfuckers from Beaver County are just cooler. Like I swear, like I can't describe it, man. And this might sound awful, but like I'm just saying, like people from Beaver County, it's just like they're so normal, but like so ambitious. I don't know.
It's
man.
a mentality. It's that Beaver County mentality.
Yeah, and that's it. It's a Beaver County mentality, man. I can't describe it. Yeah.
Wow, I got chills. That's awesome.
Straight up. But yeah, I just want everybody to live out their full potential and find like what the fuck are we here for? Like, what are you here for? Like, you know, so.
And I mean, it could even come from like seeing what our parents had to go through. Like, I know my dad, he told me, he's like, you know, I devoted my life to raising you and your brother, and that's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. But it's like, I think us as kids, we're like, you know, now that we're older, it's like, well, how are you going to fulfill your life now that we've left the nest?
Right.
I know I just brought the vibe down so much. Like it's
depressing. No, it's real.
It's real shit. Like
no, I
like what's the next step? And I think that's why we have so much passion.
Yeah, and you're 100% right. And it's like it's such a mind fuck to get older and look at like older people or people you used to look up at, and it's hard not to judge them or not to look like why aren't you
like have empathy for them almost.
Right. And it's like, yo, why don't you want more? Like, why don't you like, yo, like you got all these dreams, but like, and I meet a lot of older people, like even my mom or it's just like they it's just like it's a whole new world for them, and it's scary to step out on what they've been dreaming about or what like dreams they had, or you know. So I get so worked up. I'm just like, yo, just do that shit. Like, yo, like you got it. Like what? And I get upset because it's like, yo, why don't you see what I see? Like what? Like you saying everything that you want to do, fucking do it. And
like take the steps towards that, you know.
And I kind of have to take a step back, and it's just like, yo, you gotta calm the fuck down, because like, because it can be off-putting something. Because like I get so worked up, but it's like I'm excited about what I know that person can do, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like you not them, man. You can be encouraging, but you just can't get so worked up, and that's my problem. I guess.
Yeah, and I actually think one of the times where I really realized that was. I met somebody on Twitter, like he's from the Pittsburgh area, and I started following him on Instagram because he had like a different Instagram than his personal, and it's just movies. He doesn't give reviews or anything. It's just like, yo, I'm watching this movie tonight. And like I messaged him, I was like, yo, why don't you do like a podcast about movies?
Yeah.
He was like, it's not my thing. And I was like, but it could be so good, you know? I was like, you love movies, like why not capitalize on that? But that's the thing, is some people have that certain mentality of, do I want to capitalize on this, or do I just want to like love it for what it is?
Yeah, and I mean, I apologize sometimes, like for being overly, but sometimes motherfuckers really do need you to be that way. They need, like, yo, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You just post movies, like, yo, like you. I almost look at it like, yo, it's that motherfucker's duty to share his thoughts. I mean, it's not what it is. Like, yo, like
to us, it's like, well, why won't you share that with the world? You know?
Like, yo, I don't know, but again, like you can't force anybody to do anything. It's just
we're just different. We're just different.
Yeah, like I watched it's a fact, man. Like I watched that I mean I'm no level to Kobe or Michael Jordan, but I watched that Last Dance doc,
Yeah.
man. And like, yeah, Jordan is a douchebag and he got some dickhead moments, but like I got it. Like
You understood
he won.
it.
I got it. And it was just like, fuck, like you can use that in every situation and whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
In some cases, yeah.
Absolutely. So now that we got real there for a second, let's pull it back and let's talk about your brand a little more. You hit your 30K mark, and I saw that you, I think you recently released your website, KeepPittsburghDope.com. So let's talk about that. Let's give you some free ad space here.
Wow, let's get it. So the reason I started the site is my fear is always like Instagram is gonna be MySpace. Like I remember I fucking loved MySpace. It took me so long to get on Facebook. Like my friends were like, yo, you gotta get off MySpace. Like Facebook is it now, bro.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, no one's checking for MySpace. And that's always my fear is like, I have to get this off of here. Like I gotta get this on my platform. So like if Instagram is trash tomorrow and TikTok is the new wave and Instagram is forgotten, I'll still have a place where, people can come to see pictures. I mean, I'll figure TikTok out, but it's, I want to have you
need to have your home, your like safe space for your content.
Right. And exactly. And I don't know. Yeah. So, and with everything else, I don't want to give too much away, but like, going back to even the merch, like just having a home for that.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And everything else. So it was just about just it being mine and just having that place.
Yeah. So, I mean, you say you don't want to give too much away, but like, what are some more like, what are the plans? Like, what are the tabs going to be? I think I can tell there's going to be like a shop, but like, what else? Are we going to be able to buy portraits from you? Like,
well, my thing is, so like like I said, my first love is broadcast. So like I said, what you're doing, like the wheels are in motion for the podcast. It's
awesome.
Just like,
love to hear that.
Yeah, like that's what I love podcasts. Like that's all I watch.
Same.
That's all I listen to. Like literally, like I don't watch TV. Like I just watch YouTube and podcasts. I don't even listen to them. I just watch them half the time. So basically, just building the brand into. Of course, photos are always going to be the base, but just transition into the podcast space and just interesting conversations and just doing and like you said earlier, a place to express my opinion a little bit more, because it's only so much you can do under pictures and captions and like you sound crazy
in like the Instagram terms of service and policies and whatever.
I start to sound like a rapper, like with captions, and it's just like I want to say this how I feel. So it's just more of the personality side here on out. So like I said, 30K was it, and then now it's just like, all right, motherfuckers, they fuck with me. Let's jump into this personality side, full throttle. So and then down that's where that's going to be the website's going to be a home for that. And but I'm sure man, it's so this podcast thing, and especially the way we're like the way we're trying to do it, it's just so much that goes into it. I mean, outside of the equipment and like but like, fuck, it's just like it's a lot of stuff that
it's a grind. And like for me, so I work nights, So basically, I have 3 days a week to do interviews, and that's what my show thrives on. That's all it is interviews. So
Yeah.
it's like you have 3 days to do an interview, edit clips, and edit the full podcast, and then you have to export all those, export the podcast twice. One is video, one is audio.
Yeah.
And now I'm making TikToks for it, and like that's an extra clip I gotta edit, and like it's really, you got to do a lot. And I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Nah, and like that's what I'm excited about it, because like I'm starting over. Like I'm it's another, like, it's still Keep Pittsburgh Dope, but it's like no one knows me for podcasts. I mean, they know me from radio, but like no one knows the Keep Pittsburgh Dope as a podcast form either.
And as a personality, and
right. So
it's really like, just been a cultural thing.
Yeah. And now I get to start over, and like, this motherfucker's fucking with it. Like, what do I got to switch up? And like, what are the other podcasts doing? What's your podcast doing? It's just like, all right. Word, he got video. He upped his video. Okay. All right. I love that. And it just makes the city better. It makes the podcast culture better. And like, motherfuckers just taking up a notch. And it's just like, it's beautiful. I mean, some people, I don't know, they handle it wrong, but like, if you handle it, it should motivate you. It should inspire you to just take your shit up to the next level.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I love, like, once you came to me with your comps, like, yo, I'm in it. Like, we need more just like different points of views, and like, yeah. So, and especially in the birthplace of radio, like,
yeah, absolutely.
We have to have more podcasts here. And and I'm on the radio. I don't even listen to the radio. I know that's bad, but like,
I don't listen to the radio. I almost went right over that. Let's talk about that. You still do work for you said Whammo, right?
No, so not Whammo. So like, I had a good run with Whammo.
Yeah, let's just go through that timeline, I guess.
Yeah, so like I started. I'm still with Star, so I'm still with 100.7 Star. And so funny story with that. Funny story with that. So like I said, I had an internship at B94 at the State College. Had to leave, but I didn't mention that internship turned into a late night spot on B94. So once that internship was done, I got a job. I wasn't being paid, but I had a late night spot 5 days a week from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and at State College, and like, it was amazing. Like, that was my first taste of like, strangers fucking with you. Like, I would get like the prisoners up there, like the prisoners in the middle of the state, one of them, and like I would get letters from jail from like people like, yo, Chance, we listen to you every night. Like,
that's really cool. That's really fucking dope.
It was so dope. It was amazing. So like, that was so I had to leave, but Alista, she does afternoons, and a girl named Kelly, she does rush hour for Star. And I interned with them at State College, and they ended up, they graduated, they got their jobs. So full circle, Alista reached out to me once she saw the popularity of the Instagram page.
Yeah.
She was like, yo, you still got interest in radio? I was like, fuck yeah, because that was always my plan, to get back, to just kind of like build this brand. But so I started at Star, and then they sat me down one day and was like, hey, Whammo, like, they're connected. Like, these Whammo is underneath Star's corporation somehow. Yeah, and then they sat me down. I was like, hey, like, you would still be working for Star, but Whammo has the rush hour spot open. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And long story short, I was doing rush hour at Whammo, and I'm not gonna shit on Whammo, but it's not the Whammo of old, that's for sure.
Gotcha.
And just a lot of disorganized parts, but I love my time at Whammo, and just to be in that slot, and just people coming home from work, to listen. I mean, driving home from work to listen. So that was awesome. But so they let me go, but I'm still with Star. So I'm still with Star.
You're still with the overall company, yeah.
Right, but I've been I've been laid off since March. I mean, so I don't know. we'll see if I go back, but the main focus is this podcast and really diving into that and building that from the ground up. So
yeah, absolutely. Now I got one more question for you before we head out here. Since you're a Pittsburgh photographer, it's kind of what you're known for. I have to ask you, who is your favorite Pittsburgh photographer outside of yourself?
Oh man,
because it has grown substantially.
I'll say that's kind of that's easy for me. So like I like this kid, not kid, he's a grown ass man. Cam Brown. His Instagram name is Bam Crown. But he just his pictures are so romantic. Like he captures people and he captures stuff like cars and scene, but it's just like I can't describe it. It's literally romantic. Like it's just like he captures a feeling in his photos that I can't do. Like it's just his own unique photography. And he's one of my favorites right now. But my and Teenie Harris. Teenie, I don't know if you ever heard of Teenie Harris, but he's like what I'm doing now, he was doing it back in the day. And he's like he took it. He's nationally renowned. He just captured Black people of Pittsburgh on the street, in the parties, in the crib. Like he was that person. And I'm just trying to blow his shit out the water and take it up to another level. I mean, not
disrespectfully, obviously.
Right. to just take it up a whole nother level. So if he's somewhere like, yo, damn, Chance, he took it. He continued and took, that to another level. So those two.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Chance, thanks for coming on. This is probably one of my favorite interviews.
Hell, that's an honor, man. Yeah, thanks for having me, yo. Keep doing it, yo. It's definitely a fucking grind, and like, people don't get to see, like, you had a situation this morning where we had to reschedule. They don't understand like the reinvestment of time that you're putting in, and like you're not seeing nothing from it yet. Maybe not as much as you want, but like it's gonna get there.
It takes time.
The consistency is the key, man.
All right, man. Well, thanks.
Yeah.